That's how I roll.
And I'm not going to drink and drive anymore.
That's 256-576-4977. Now, here's Wes and Steve.
Live here at Baumhauer's Victory Grill. Good to have you along for the ride here at Baumhauer's Victory Grill, along with Wes Neighbors. Steve Moulton here with you on this eve of Thanksgiving here on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. How are you, Wes Neighbors?
Very festive here.
It is.
Yeah,
it is.
so,
it is.
Yeah. Last week it was festive, but it didn't feel the same. But now with Thanksgiving here, Christmas is a month away. And
Yep.
It's very festive.
The Auburn basketball team just got through with a double overtime game against UConn down in the Bahamas, where the Huskies survived the Auburn program 115-109. That is Auburn's first loss of the year, but Auburn was down by as much as 15 in the game and came back and was able to push it into double overtime. It was, I'll tell you, a lot of fun to watch. And Auburn had three players in double figures, led by K.D. Johnson, who had 27 in the game, including 11 of 16 at the free throw line as well for the Auburn Tigers. But they look like a really good basketball team this year.
We knew they were going to be good. They're going to be good every year as long as Coach is down there and doing his thing. I mean, he's
Bruce Pearl.
He attracts athletes and is a great coach, and that's the reason why. And they go to the NBA. It's funny to look, and I said it when Auburn was hired him. It was a perfect storm for Auburn.
Mm-hmm.
They had the guy from the NCAA that actually had put him on probation when he was at Tennessee.
Yeah.
And they came to him and said, "Yeah, we can hire him." And I think that gave him a leg up on everybody else. But when he went there, it was no doubt that the SEC, that was one of the first steps for the state of Alabama.
And that was a Jay Jacobs hire.
Yeah. Well, Jay Jacobs hired some pretty good coaches.
Yeah. But that kind of gets lost in the shuffle a little bit now that we're a little further down the road, and not with the search of a new football coach down there on the play, or down there in
the revolving door is now Florida,
wow.
which is not good.
No, it really isn't. Yesterday dealt with the news, the passing of Cecil Hurt. Just can't help but
iconic.
Can't help but want to get a thought or two about Cecil.
Well, he started when I started. When I was at Alabama, he interviewed me almost every day. And his Twitter was the only thing I missed about Twitter. He had classic lines. He's always a gentleman and a fine writer.
Yeah.
And sometimes when it was time, he would say it's time. But he wasn't into all the rumors and this or that, and he poo-pooed most of those unless it was something real. When Cecil said it, it was real.
Yeah.
So he'll be missed. I think the Tuscaloosa News was the greatest beneficiary in the world by having him, and he will be missed. By this show also.
Yes, definitely. We've got folks waiting online already. Coming up on the program today, the one and only Drew DeArmond will be on hand here live at Baumhauer's Victory Grill.
And listen, last week he said that Mullen would be fired.
He did.
And I said I didn't think it was any way.
Yeah.
And he predicted Malzahn would be fired last year too.
He's right more than he's not.
It's true. Jalen Hurts. If you want to see him squirm, mention Jalen Hurts. And he starts squirming.
Blake Barnett.
Yeah, well, Blake Barnett. I mean, I called that nay on the end of the show when he said that.
Yeah. Dale is on line one to start us off. How are you, Dale?
Hey, how you doing, guys?
Good. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Just got off work. Hey, Wes, my son wanted me to call and twist your arm. You know how he's a huge LSU fan. Who's going to be the next coach? He want me to.
Well, I don't know. To be honest with you,
You want me to twist your arm?
I think I
think. Tell me who it's going to be. We don't know.
I think I think Dave Miranda would be the guy to beat, but he's
Can he talk?
Apparently, what he says is doing well at Baylor.
Yeah,
but he would be.
He's doing a good job at Baylor, though, for real.
He's done a good job. Well, he did a good job at LSU.
Yeah, he did. Their defense hasn't been the same since he left. That's for
Yeah,
sure.
he's very well respected, and you know he. But I would think it's his to lose at this point.
Okay, I'll tell him.
Really?
Yeah, but you don't hear anything anymore, do you? Everything went.
You ain't heard nothing about.
Yeah,
I
heard a lot about Mark Stoops.
Mark Stoops is not leaving Kentucky.
You used to hear Hugh Freeze, Lane Kiffin. You don't hear none of that no more.
Well, I know where Lane wants to go. We'll see what happens there.
Yeah, you know he's going to Florida. That's where he wants to go.
I don't think he's going to go to Utah. I don't think he's going to Gainesville. Gainesville isn't on the coast. You ever been to Gainesville?
No, it is definitely not on the coast.
It's like the hottest place on this earth, and there's no water.
Mm-hmm.
He's only thing we got to Miami then. That's where he's no,
yeah, I think he wants to go back to South. He has a house down there still. I think his girlfriend's still down there.
Yeah, which one?
Yeah,
which
one? The one in the Florida one.
Yeah, the one in the house.
Yeah,
yeah,
the one in his house.
Yeah, you got that right. Hey, are y'all doing the Big Two?
No, we are not. Not this week.
Okay, I didn't know. That's why I was calling in. Try to get on that.
No worries. No worries.
And I was wanting my son wanted me to twist Wes's arm and see if he thought it was.
Well, I think Dave Miranda. Well, I know he's being mentioned as one of the three. The other, of course, is at Louisiana. If something happened, Billy Napier's being mentioned for.
I was going to say, Billy Napier. Everywhere, yeah. He could just name his price. He could probably just name his price right now to his agent. 10 years, $100 million. Let's see what they say. I mean, you know, everybody else gets 10 years, 95, so why not?
But
just try to see. All right, guys. Y'all have a happy Thanksgiving. Don't eat too much. Have a happy Thanksgiving.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
Come on
Don't
now.
eat too much.
I don't know about that. Bama Bino's on line, too. What do you say there, Bama Bino?
All right, Wes and Steve, I just wanted to mainly call and tell you guys I think a lot of you get a lot of good calls. I hope you guys and your family will have a great holidays, and just wanted to mainly tell y'all I just hope you have a good holiday. And Wes, it's been a while since I talked to you. You've been out of pocket. Where you been?
Well, I was just out of pocket yesterday. I was here Monday.
Yeah, he was here Monday.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm always somewhere.
Yeah.
They keep me busy. It's not like I'm not doing something.
Steve, is your family, some of them over here, or most of them still in Georgia?
Everybody's in the state of Alabama. My brother's down in Birmingham, and so's my mom. So, yeah, everybody has made the trek from Georgia to Alabama.
It took them 2 years to move out of the house, though.
Just about.
I mean, almost.
Just about.
Yeah.
How long was your mom in that house?
From 1979 till October 1st of this year. Yeah.
I used to see all the stuff we have in the studio. It's no telling what he has in his house.
Oh.
We have a radio from like 1950.
And you know what?
Works.
It works fantastic. It was my dad's radio.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Works like a champ.
What part of Georgia?
Stone Mountain. Stone Mountain. Mile and a half from the back gate.
Yeah.
Yep.
My neighbor that I told you that worked for the Braves, he lived in Conyers.
That's a longer
Rockdale
trip.
County.
Yeah.
Yeah, right there. But anyway, man, we got a good game going on tomorrow. My cousin's son, old Cole Milliken, he lit it up the other night. I think he had 5 threes against Gadsden City. They run all over Gadsden City. And, Plainview's only a 3A. And, but I think they beat Huntsville, too. Yeah, they did beat Huntsville.
That's Drew.
Yeah, Drew would definitely know that answer to that question.
Oh, yeah, they did beat them because they came to the Rainsville Civic Center. And it was like every year they have a tournament there just before the season. Well, and they beat them by like 10 points.
Well, Bama Bino, happy Thanksgiving to you and your family.
Bama Bino.
Thanks so much for calling in.
Thanks for being a regular caller.
Yes, sir.
Love you guys.
Love you too, Bamabino. Philip with Eagle Masonry and Insulation, kind enough to hop on a headset. How are you, Philip?
I'm doing good, guys. How are you doing?
Doing real well.
Hey, Steve, I tell everybody that's listening, if they're not following you on Twitter, you're a great follow on Twitter. You alerted me the other day that Whataburger is now open here.
Oh, yeah, that's a big deal for you.
It is. I'm a Texas guy. Didn't know that.
That's right.
So thanks for the heads up, brother.
I always associate it with the beach myself.
Texas, I used to eat there all the time when I lived in Houston.
Yep. Great burger.
Yeah.
They don't have wings like this great place.
Oh, no. Yeah,
it's a burger.
I'm telling you that if this place is filling up quickly, too, so you need to get your butt in here for some dinner tonight, as this will be your pre-meal before the meal here at Baumhauer. So tell us what's going on at Eagle.
Just looking at the weather. Getting cold. Smiling every time I see the frost on the frost not on a roof. So
yeah, that means that it needs insulation.
That's right. Yeah. So that and staying real busy with brickwork. We're doing a lot of actually repair work here lately for people. So got a real good guy that does some great repair work. So we're doing a lot of that lately. So a little bit of everything. Ready for a day off tomorrow.
That was the coolest thing. Man, it's been a long time now. You've done 2 houses for me, actually. But the one house, my power bill went down by hundreds of dollars a month. I'll never forget it. And one of the things that I didn't know at the time is you can go up and look at your own insulation, or you can call you guys. But if you go up and you see any wood, you need insulation. And that was my big thing. And guys came out 2 days, saved me hundreds of dollars.
Instantly.
You're going to pay for it on what average, about 5 or 6 months?
That's right. Yeah. So, easily inside of a year, you should pay it off.
By your utility bill going down, so you can't beat it. But if you're building a house, your masonry is done at the same time you do your insulation, and that's actually why you got in the business.
Absolutely. We were looking for something to kind of diversify a little bit and figured do something that you do at the same time you insulate, so you can kill 2 birds with 1 stone, make 1 phone call, and get 1 bill instead of chasing 2 guys. So.
Yeah, now this is the father of the love child.
That's right.
Who's sitting over there on his little computer.
Right. Graduates in 2 weeks. Had to do his final project with Mr. Steve here and interview a legend. So came up here and got
he's right there. Yeah, he's right there. Now he asked me just about kind of the guts of the business a little bit. So
yeah, I wouldn't know. I know how to put on this headset.
That's right.
That's it. These guys are unbelievable. But going to the game tomorrow. Saturday.
That's right, I am.
We actually played one year when I was there on a Thursday. Mm-hmm. That used to happen.
I know. I guess it's now the Egg Bowl now, right? Yeah. Yeah, I'm headed down there. But we're a basketball school, so. At least we were for 40 minutes today, 45 minutes, the last 5 minutes.
It was a very entertaining game against UConn.
Rebounding.
So UConn must be really good if they beat Auburn. Though.
That's right. That's the way I like to look at it, Steve.
Yeah.
Wes, that's the way I like to look at it. Yeah, sorry. You guys look very similar. Happens to you all the time, I'm sure.
Okay, Nate.
That's fantastic.
That's good. Good old Nate Matthews.
Yeah. Nate's he's a Whataburger guy. He knows where every mile marker where there is one.
He does. Yep.
He had to start boxing before he
Yeah. That's why he takes boxing. That's why work off that Whataburger.
Yeah.
I'm still working on that. So you mentioned temperature change, and I live in a smaller house right behind here, basically, and it has been such a difference in my power bill that I've noticed. I'm still paying. I'm in a little 1,500 square foot house. My power bill this month was $128. Yeah. So it's hard to get better than that.
Absolutely, yeah. I've talked to a couple of people just this week that we did theirs, 2 weeks ago, and they called back and just said, "Hey, just the temperature difference. I haven't seen a bill yet, but the comfort level in my house is just unbelievable." Of course, these people had 3 or 4 inches up there, virtually nothing. So.
Well, you told me I had a basketball court up in my attic before y'all came in there.
Exactly. So it definitely changed things for you for the better.
Well, tell me what you think about your Auburn Tigers.
He's already told you, I think.
No, I know they're a basketball school.
I like being the underdog in that game. I think either
no
side
doubt
does.
that you're the underdog.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know. Running out of players, that's a problem. I was pleasantly surprised. We talked back in August. I believe you were quizzing me if Central Florida or Auburn were going to have a better outcome this year. I felt pretty good halfway through the season, and the last couple of weeks, it's just kind of
when you lose your starting quarterback and your backup has no starts at your school anyway.
Right.
That's and you're playing Southeastern, and you're basically in the meat of the schedule.
Right.
Yeah. This was the part that we had been worried about all year, as far as Auburn getting through. And that's why I picked them to win 7 games at the beginning of the year, and because of these, and it looked like, hey, after they beat Arkansas, you're like, they got a team.
Right. They got better each week, and then just things would happen.
When he got hurt against Mississippi State, that was the turning point.
For the record, UCF 7-4.
Ugh, man. Thought we had that guy. Thought we had him beat. But I think that first week was right after I was on last time, and you guys said, he's going to do better. UCF's going to do better in that first game. I was like, the way they came back and won. But I stopped watching them after that.
Yeah, I haven't paid attention to them. They got beat by
Yeah, they got pounded by Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
that hair got gray real fast too, didn't it, down there?
I haven't seen
it.
Either.
Yeah.
Well, we don't miss this press conference. I mean,
they were fantastic.
The questions were longer than the answers.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So I mean, I like Brian Harsin. I think he's going to do a good job. I don't agree with every call, and nobody does in the games you lose.
Right.
I mean, the Alabama game, I didn't agree on the calls on the goal line when they lost to Texas A&M. Right. And there's always going to be second guessing. When you win the game, you usually forget about those.
That's right. Yeah, I mean, I'm optimistic. I think, get his own guys in there and get it figured out. We'll see how it goes.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see how much of his staff stays, how much leaves, who they are, and how they do in recruiting.
Right,
it's huge to me. I mean, that's what I'm waiting on. I think Tennessee's proven they can get guys in there, and they can win, even though they lost 30 people. Give them. I mean, how they recruit maybe not matter from high schools as much as from the portal.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we'll have to see if that is a consistent thing. The bad thing about that, when you're getting players for 1 or 2 years, it's every year.
It's constant reloading.
It's every year.
Kentucky basketball, right?
Yeah, exactly.
One and doners.
And then all of a sudden you get a bad crew, and you're out there with Dan Mullen looking for a job.
So he'll be all right.
What a shame, huh?
Yeah,
he'll be all right.
Well, I don't think Florida's going to. I think Florida.
Well, it did make me think back to right before SEC Media Days. You remember 2 weeks before SEC Media Days, there was a report that Dan Mullen was looking to get into the NFL.
Yeah, that's always been reports that he was. But he's going to, I mean.
Yeah, I know.
So I was surprised when Arizona hired the fired Texas Tech coach.
Yep.
But we all knew he was a great coach
because
he was the one that won at Houston. He was offensive coordinator at Texas A&M when Johnny Manziel was there.
Yep.
He's won everywhere he's been. He has a thing with quarterbacks, and for whatever reason they have a really good football team, and he's been able to turn it around. I don't see Dan Mullen doing that in the NFL. I don't think he has the personality. This guy, I mean, to me, Arizona's coach.
Yeah,
he has a you'd want to play for him, a player that you want to play for. It seems like to me, I haven't played for the coach of Florida, was the coach of Florida, Mullen, but he just looks like everything's the player's fault.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's not like it's. I mean, I get when you're on the sideline, you get upset at a player, but it's never his fault. And he just looks like an ass, to be honest with you. And that's what everybody says too.
Yeah, absolutely.
But he looks like that. Always
after
has.
a loss, wasn't he laughing going to midfield to shake guy's hand, or at least looked like he was laughing?
Yeah, at Missouri after the 2-point conversion.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, strange bird, that guy.
Yeah. Well, I think sometimes the biggest issue to me when you're playing on that big a stage is how you handle success and how you handle failure.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, sometimes when you're successful like he was last year, you can let it get it away from you, thinking that you're better than you really are.
Yeah, yeah.
Everybody was telling him how good he was and how this or that, and there were 3 plays or 2 plays away from winning the Southeastern Conference, this or that.
But a big extension in June too, didn't it?
Yeah, I mean they gave him.
Well, that's a bad timing.
Yeah, and that just I don't understand that. You can't fire a coach over one bad year. And they knew, you had to know what he was like. I think there's so much more to this. Is the guy mentally stable? I don't know. I mean, you're laughing after you get beat. Think about that. He had to know he was gone. I don't know. It's just it bothers me for Florida. I think that everybody has to have a Woody McCorvey. And if you don't know who Woody McCorvey is,
then that's your problem.
Well, no, it's not their problem. It's he is the
Godfather.
He's the Godfather of football. But he's at Clemson, and he's the one that keeps Dabo. And he's like telling Dabo, "Hey, you need to do." He's the sounding board for Dabo, what to do, not to do, and to make mistakes and how to handle things. And Dabo, they've been attacked. They've been people try to box them into different racial things and this or that. And do you hear anybody talking about it?
Mm-hmm.
There's ways to handle everything, especially if they aren't true. You still handle it wrong, and you have to have that. I mean, and some people don't like Dabo, some people do. I personally, I can see how he can rub people the wrong way, but he's truly a good guy. I mean, truly a good person.
Coming up in about 10 minutes' time, Charlie Trotman going to join us, talk a little Auburn football.
Sure, listen to that.
With us. All right, Nate, tell folks how to get in touch with you over there.
There you go. All right, good. I wonder if he's listening. Just give us a call. Best way to get us, 256-755-1556. Lisa answers that phone. She'll get you on the schedule, get you somebody to come out there and take a look, or you can tell us over the phone what you need. We'll get it. You can also go to our website, www.insulatewitheagle.com. There's a button on there, say get a free quote. That'll send us an email, and we'll have somebody get back with you. Usually in 24 hours, we're pretty responsive.
If you're building a house, call the same number.
If you're building a house, call that same number. Lisa will get you in touch with me, my partner Terry, and we can get out there, look at your repair job, your new construction, whatever you need. He's a whiz with the masonry crews, so he knows a lot about the business.
I think Terry's at the bar. I saw him in here a minute ago.
You might have.
Yeah, right there. Right there. So. Again, that's 256-755-1556. Very easy website as well. Very just user-friendly is that website, insulatewitheagle.com.
Thank you. Yeah, we got a lot of pictures up there. You can kind of see our work and that kind of stuff. So, yeah. Guys, have a good holiday. Hopefully
Likewise.
I'll see you before the next one, yeah?
Yeah, definitely.
Right.
Thank you, Phil.
Thank you, guys.
Let's take our first time out. Charlie Trotman set to join us on the other side as we'll talk a little Auburn football live here from Baumhauer's Victory Grill.
You're listening to The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Ann Adams with Berkshire Hathaway Rise Real Estate is the one name to know if you're buying or selling real estate. With years of local experience, Ann Adams offers buyers in-depth knowledge of the local housing market and will narrow available properties down to those you'll be interested in so you can save time when shopping for your new home. If you're ready to sell, Ann offers a seamless process using accurate pricing and expert negotiation skills to make sure you get a fair price for your home. Call Ann Adams today at 256-337-2625 or log on bhhsriserealestate.com.
Chapman Commercial Realty, your source for Alabama commercial real estate. Chapman Commercial Realty has the experience and expertise you're looking for when making commercial real estate decisions. If it's office space, retail space, investment property, or project development, Chapman Commercial Realty is your answer. Call Bill Chapman today at 256-656-8413. That's 256-656-8413. Or find him online at chapmancommercialrealty.com.
At Bad Daddy's Burger Bar, people call the award-winning burgers totally insane, which is a compliment because Bad Daddy's Burgers are just that. Chef-inspired expressions of pure burger amazingness built with premium Angus beef. They're bold and they're bad. Pair one with one of their signature cocktails or assortment of local craft brews. Bad Daddy's Burger Bar, 2317 Memorial Parkway. Check out our menu and even order online at baddaddysburgerbar.com.
Chad, cue the cheesy Italian music. So you're in charge of the dinner spot, and the family is a hard group to please. Dad wants award-winning 21-day age certified Angus beef. Mom craves authentic Italian food like great-grandma. Sissy pretty much won't eat anything but fresh seafood. And old life of the party, Uncle Walter, likes to enjoy a cigar after dinner with some live local entertainment and some killer cocktails. So you think you're in a pickle? Well, you're not. Relax. I'm Tom Chapman, chef at Nick's Ristorante at 10300 Bailey Cove Road, just south of Weatherly. We have all that and more. Our friendly and helpful staff is eager to help you Tuesday through Saturday, starting at 5. So, corral that crazy crew of yours and give us a call at 256-489-8280 or tell them to check us out at nicksristorante.com. I promise you, the gang will all think you're a culinary cruise director of awesomeness if you take them all to Nick's. See you soon. Ciao. Okay, Chad, kill that music.
Nick's is for patrons 19 or older.
Everybody knows the fun begins when you get to the end zone, where you can enjoy half-price apps every Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, half-price burgers every Tuesday, plus late-night pizza specials and a spectacular menu that includes jumbo wings, half-pound burgers, Tex-Mex, and an incredible selection of craft beer, and plenty of big-screen TVs. It's all happening at the end zone, 1851 University Drive, 2030 Cecil Ashburn at Jones Valley Station, and coming in early 2022, Mid-City End Zone at 1115 McMurtry next to the Target Shopping Center.
Are you in the market for a recreational vehicle? Do you want to get out and see more of this beautiful country? Well, imagine hearing the laughter of your little ones enjoying gooey s'mores by a cozy campfire and making lasting memories with your friends and family from the comfort of a new camper. We can make your dreams come true at Hall's RV. With over 15 years in the camping business, we know how to get our customers into the perfect camper. We have several models and floor plans here for you to choose from, both new and used. We're family owned and operated with fantastic deals and great service. Everyone wants to work with people they can trust, so come on down to Hall's RV and get the deal of a lifetime. We'll treat you right and get you on the road in the camper of your dreams. Visit us on Highway 431 in Albertville. Hall's RVs, where we sell fun. Or see us on the web at www.hallsrvsales.com.
This segment of The Drive is brought to you by Woody Anderson Ford, located online at woodyAndersonFord.com with 2 locations, Hughes Road in Madison and Jordan Lane in Huntsville.
Back here at Baumhauer's Victory Grill, along with Wes Neighbors. Steve Moulton back here with you. It is, after all, Iron Bowl week. So let's talk a little Iron Bowl with a former Auburn quarterback. Charlie Trotman joins us right now on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. Happy Thanksgiving to you and your family, Charlie. Appreciate the time, sir.
Man, it's a great time of year. I love Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving to you and Wes, Steve, and thanks for having me on.
Always fun to talk some Auburn football with you, and I know it's I call in this season a roller coaster. May be an underside to a roller coaster. It's a lot of ups and downs, and I know injuries have played a big key, but tell me your thoughts coming out of the South Carolina game, Charlie.
Well, you know, earlier in the year when Auburn was 6-2, it looked like things were going in the right direction, and Auburn had a great opportunity, you know, to put itself in a position to maybe play Alabama for a shot at the West Division championship and a spot in the SEC championship game. It didn't work out that way. You know, a poor offensive showing at Texas A&M, and a decent game against Ole Miss, but a poor showing against Texas A&M, and then the debacle in the second half against Mississippi State, and then just a game that Auburn didn't play very well in, to be frank with you, offensively or defensively, after the first two series against South Carolina. So disappointing. It was a year that could have been much better than it is so far. Looks to be a difficult proposition to beat an Alabama team that is coming in with only one loss and with a great offense, a defense that may not be as good as Alabama's had in the past, but a defense that wins games, even though they may not be playing as well as Alabama fans would like.
Well, Charlie, basically with Bo Nix, I think Auburn did beat them last time they were down there. Without Bo Nix, it becomes harder, obviously, because he's a dynamic and run. It seems to me they should have beat South Carolina too by just running the ball. What's their reluctance in just running the ball? It seems like to me they try to throw too much almost.
Yeah. Well, I agree with you, Wes. In that particular game, Auburn was running the ball pretty successfully, and Tank Bigsby was having a big game, and he was kind of fired up. And I think, when Auburn had the 4th and 1 on their own 35-yard line and went for it and did not run the ball, I think it shocked even the players. You could tell that when they were showing Tank Bigsby on the sideline, and he was kind of shaking his head in disgust and just wanted to get the football. If you're going to go for it, that's one thing, but at least put your best foot forward. And the offense was doing a good job, the offensive line, and creating some running lanes, and you probably could have gotten a yard at least with Tank Bigsby running the ball. So
the one thing I'll never forget, Coach Bryant used to say, and my dad used to say, because Coach Bryant said it, you run your best back behind your best blocker, and it's hard to not get a yard to a half a yard.
Yeah, exactly, and that means they were running behind you, big man, when you were playing at Alabama.
Listen, if it was less than one and we didn't run a quarterback sneak, I'd get mad myself. I understand why Tank Bigsby was mad. The guy's a great player. He's playing his heart out, and you need a yard, you'd call on him. They did something similar at Penn State when they had it down there. I think if they give it to Bigsby twice, they probably win that game.
Yeah, it's one of those kind of scratch your head moments that you wonder what the coaches were thinking, and it's kind of like against Mississippi State when Auburn was running a 3-man rush. They were not running a 3-4 defense now. A 3-4 defense, you bring the outside linebacker up on the line and you rush him along with everybody else. The 3-man rush was what they were running, and in doing that, it allowed Will Rogers, the quarterback for Mississippi State, to have all day long, and he was looking downfield waiting for receivers to get open. They sometimes were covered on their initial route, but he just waited, had plenty of time for them to get open, and after about the third touchdown that they got in a row, you would think that the coaches would have thought, well, maybe this isn't the best defense to be in. But it didn't work out like that. They stayed in that defense to the last play of the game.
I don't get that. So, I remember Mississippi State played somebody, and they were talking about he said, you rush 3 sometimes, but you can't rush it all the time. They can't know you're going to do it, or they'll get you. Yeah,
you can't. I mean, there's nothing wrong with a 3-man rush as maybe part of your repertoire. Do it every now and then as a change of pace, but to do it every single play, and Auburn really played the same 3 players most of the time. I felt bad for Derek Hall said after the game, they asked him, about how that game went and so forth. He used to rush in Auburn's number 29, and he said, well, I was doing the best I could, but they blocked two. I had two blockers on me every single play.
You can't do anything.
And so, it's kind of like playing with your arm tied behind your back. And it just was quizzical. You couldn't understand why they did it. And that's kind of what happened on that fourth down in South Carolina, too.
So what do you think about what's going to become of the coaching staff, and do you think there'll be changes after this year, or are they going to hold?
I don't know, Wes. I really don't know. I like the coaches. I like Harsin. I think that he's got a lot of positive aspects to him, and I think he can get the job done with the right recruiting. If he turns out to be a really good recruiter, and I think Derek Mason has been really good, defensively throughout his career. I don't know what happened to him in the Mississippi State game, but it just was a bad choice of defenses to play against them. And then Mike Bobo has got a son that is committed to Auburn. He'll go somewhere else if his dad loses his job. So I don't know. I don't know. I wish I was closer to the coaching staff so that I could, give you a better thought on that. But I really don't know what Brian Harsin's going to do after the year's over.
In truth, Auburn's so close to being a really good team.
Yeah, this
year, there's no doubt about it. And this as well as I do, probably more. There's not much difference in winning and losing, really. There's just a little bit happens here, a little bit happens there, and a lot of Auburn's games have been that way.
They have. Penn State was competitive. For the most part, Texas A&M was competitive. Georgia was not competitive in the second half. It was a decent game for a half, and then in the second half, the game got away from Auburn. But, they should have, shoulda, coulda, woulda, but they should have beaten Mississippi State, and they could have beaten South Carolina. But like you said, I think Auburn misses a ton of opportunity without Bo Nix in there. He just gives Auburn a little extra shot in the arm in terms of what he can do. He's a lot more accurate than TJ Finley is. He's much more mobile as a quarterback than TJ Finley. And although, listen, TJ Finley, if it wasn't for him, Auburn would not have won the Georgia State game.
There's no question about that. I watched every.
Yeah.
And actually, they benched the starting running back and the starting quarterback.
Yeah, they benched Tank Bigsby.
Yeah, because he fumbled. And
Hunter fumbled on the series before they drove down with T.J. Finley. But I just don't know that Auburn can score enough points against Alabama to beat them, because you look at the points that Auburn has scored, and they did score a few points against Mississippi State, but most of them were in the first half, and they only were able to score one touchdown in the second half. And I know Alabama's people are complaining that are Alabama fans. My friends that are Alabama fans are complaining about Alabama's defense, and I said, well, guys, there's one big difference. Y'all complain while you're winning. We're complaining while we're losing. And, that's not the right, combination for us. So I said, y'all can complain all you want as long as you keep winning.
Yeah.
But
it's a matter of time when
like
3rd and 17 is your worst.
Enough.
Yeah, when 3rd and 17 is your worst play, it's a matter of time, right?
Well, that's true. You would think that. You would think that, but I'm worried about Will Anderson. I'm not sure that we've got the blockers that can give TJ Finley enough time.
You're gonna have to game plan for him, but there are ways to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, if I was coaching, I would have either an H-back or one of the backs chip and help the tackle, because you just can't block him one-on-one.
But I mean, Ham's had trouble with speed rushing, and your right tackles. This will be his second game he started, so it can. Yeah, I've actually mentioned that as a problem, but what I don't understand why people don't chip more anyway, because you can do a chip screen, and all of a sudden, you got that takes that guy away. I mean, if you were a chip screen, they used to run. Well, McElwain, that's what he used to run all the time. They would chip a guy, and chipping's when the back takes the edge rush away from the defense. So he comes up, and if the guy's outside, he'll hit the defensive end rushing and gives the tackle time to catch him. So what happens a lot of times,
Auburn needs to do that with.
I agree. I mean,
with Ham, with Brodarius Ham is a big, strong guy, but he has a hard time with speed rushers.
Yeah, I've noticed that. But in Alabama, has a speed rusher on both sides. The other guys getting better every game. Dallas Turner, I think his name is.
Yep.
Right.
He continues to improve doing it too. So
the other thing that I think that I'm worried about is Alabama's ability to run with the ball after they catch it. Auburn right now, our receivers who have been on and off this year, they've made some good catches and they've made some good plays, but they've dropped some balls. And the other thing is they don't really, when they catch the football, even if they're coming across the field, like against South Carolina, not Javarius Johnson, it was Jackson, number 11. He caught a ball and was coming across field, and it looked like he was going to be able to maybe outrun the defense, and he didn't. And then you look conversely at somebody like Jamison Williams or Mitchie or those guys, and if they catch the ball, you better find an angle, because if you don't, they're going to take it to the house.
Yep.
And, Jamison Williams is the fastest receiver I've ever seen.
I mean, it's unbelievable
in college. And they say that he's gotten faster, which is crazy. But here's the thing, though. I think Auburn can run the ball. Alabama's been susceptible to that at times. That Auburn can. If Auburn can shorten the game, I think they can keep it competitive. And all you want is a chance to win at the end, right?
Well, that's right. That's all you want. And the other thing is that if Auburn could do what Arkansas did, which is have long, sustained drives, and keep Bryce Young and the offense, those game breakers as receivers, keep those guys off the field for a majority of the game, that would help Auburn a lot. And maybe they can do that with the running game and a little play action here and there. But the way I look at it is, let's say Tank Bigsby has a huge game, has nearly 200 yards, and he scores 3 touchdowns. Well, I still don't think that beats Alabama. He may score 3 touchdowns. Auburn may get a touchdown pass in there and get 28 points, but you got to score more than 28 points to beat Alabama.
Yeah. Well, Charlie, appreciate the time. I'm sorry, Charlie.
I'm sorry. To me, I was just going to say that it's a uphill battle Saturday. It's going to be an uphill battle, and it's, even though they're playing at Jordan-Hare Stadium, where a lot of crazy things have gone on in the Auburn-Alabama game, in Auburn's favor to a great degree. That if Bo Nix was playing, just like you said, Wes, I would have a completely different opinion. I'd say Auburn had a puncher's chance, but it's going to be tough.
And without a good kicker too, because the guy makes 55-yard field goals. That's a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
That is
really
a big deal.
It's a big deal.
Yeah.
I mean,
very big deal.
So anyway, I agree, Charlie. I think it's going to be tough. I never the line doesn't matter though, and I don't just say it because of 3 of the last 4 times Alabama's gone down there. They've been double-digit favorites and lost. So it's not like this hadn't happened before. And I remember winning a game where nobody gave us a chance, and I was on the other side. So when they say that you can throw out the records, you can. A lot of people's the way they will look at their time of where they are is how you play in this game.
Right.
So, I mean, you
but
have
it's funny because even in those games that you're talking about, I'm not sure who was your quarterback in that game. Y'all
Mike
won that
Shula.
You weren't favored. Mike Shula. Okay, well, Shula. Yeah, that was 85, right?
Right, 84.
84?
85. He was the
Okay.
85 quarterback too. But yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Well, see, in 17, Auburn had Jarrett Stidham. Okay, in 13, when Alabama, when Auburn beat Alabama, in they had the quarter. Yeah. Oh, who? Yeah, my son was telling me who he was.
Yeah.
It was Nick Marshall. But anyway,
yeah.
So my point is, in those games, even in the game that Nick Marshall played in Tuscaloosa, that was something like ended up 50-something to 40-something. Auburn had a chance because of who they had at quarterback. I just don't. I mean, I'm not sold on the fact that Auburn's got the playmaker at quarterback that it takes to beat Alabama. You don't have to have an elite quarterback to beat Alabama. You have to have an elite outing by the quarterback. In other words, that quarterback, whoever he is, just like the kid, Calzada, he's not an elite quarterback, but he had an elite game against Alabama.
Sure did.
Yeah.
And, and you can go back to when Alabama in 2010 lost to South Carolina, Garcia, who was just a good quarterback. He was not an elite quarterback, but he had an elite game.
He had an elite receiver,
Alabama,
too. I think he's still playing.
Yeah, he did. So, if T.J. Finley goes off, it goes nuts and has an elite game, then Auburn may be in it. But the odds of that happening are not very strong, I don't think.
Charlie, appreciate the time.
Charlie, thank you so much.
Happy Thanksgiving to you and your family, sir.
Yeah, guys, happy Thanksgiving. Hope you all eat a whole lot and spend time with your family tomorrow.
Amen. Amen. Thank you, Charlie. Drew DeArmond is on the on-deck circle, so let's take our final time out of hour number 1. Nick Saban at the top of the hour.
You're listening to The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Hi, everybody. Eli Gold here. Right now, indoor air quality occupies top-of-mind awareness for families and business owners. Rick Smith and the trusted professionals at Environmental Comfort Systems can take care of your indoor air quality concerns with their state-of-the-art indoor air quality solutions. Environmental Comfort's indoor air quality systems remove 99.9% of airborne contaminants so you and your family can breathe clean, fresh air. If anyone in your family suffers from allergies, or if you just want the security of knowing the air you breathe inside your home is free from viruses, bacteria, pet dander, dust, and odors, Environmental Comfort Systems are the professionals to call. Environmental Comfort also carries state-of-the-art, high-efficiency comfort systems that increase home comfort, keep humidity in check, and help you save money on your energy bills. Give my friend Rick a call or visit them online at envcomfort.com and breathe cleaner air today. Environmental Comfort Systems, Alabama license number 92314.
Take your taste buds back in time with a trip to the all-new Bubby's Diner, offering a variety of mouth-watering food from delicious starters to 50-style diner food and meat-and-free meals featuring owner and Huntsville native Chris Bubby Belcher's family's homemade recipes. Open Monday through Saturday for breakfast, lunch, and dinner at 8412 Whitesburg Drive in the former Gibson's Barbecue. Drive-in, drive-through, carry-out, or curbside pickup with delivery coming soon through Grub South. Bubby's Diner, home of the Donut Burger.
Have you ever found exactly the right new car or truck with the exact features that you want and nothing else? Well, at Woody Anderson Ford, we can promise you just that. Hey, Bobby White back again, and you can now factory order your new Ford today, and you'll get your new car or truck exactly the way you want it. And there's no extra cost to custom order. Plus, you get $1,000 off MSRP on top of any additional factory rebates. This applies to 2021 F-150, Explorer, Ranger, and Expedition. It's a win-win with a custom order at Woody Anderson Ford. You get the colors, the features, and the options that fit your life. Plus, you get notified when it's built, shipped, and ready to deliver. Listen, buying a new car or truck is likely the second largest investment you'll ever make. So why settle? Get exactly what you want with a custom factory order today. And get $1,000 off MSRP.
To do a
See
great
how
job
Woody Anderson
in
Ford
terms of how he covered, Alabama athletics. He was a good friend. He was actually a trusted companion to me. I confided a lot of things in him. He never violated my trust. I thought the guy was one of the brightest, neatest big picture thinkers, ever that I've been associated with in the media environment. Truly just loved the guy, loved his sense of humor, loved the way he went about his work, and he'll certainly, be missed by all of us. But our thoughts and prayers and condolences go out to his family. I'd also like to wish everybody a really, happy Thanksgiving. I think this is a time of the year when we all should have gratitude for all the things that we have in our life. That's what we give thanks for. Family, friends, relationships, opportunities that we've been given that sometimes seem like a burden, but yet they're a blessing. I just like to wish everybody out there a really happy holiday, this time around. So, our plans for tomorrow for our players are, we move practice up an hour. Some of the guys that live close by can get out early enough to have Thanksgiving dinner at home. Some guys have it here with their family. And the coaches have the rest of the players, come to their house for Thanksgiving dinner and be a part of, our family. So we're going to have a nice group at our house, which we always enjoy. And Miss Terry always does a great job of making those guys feel at home.
Okay. With that, we will start with Nick Kelly in Tuscaloosa.
This time last week, you mentioned a few guys had the case of the 4 Me's. What's the response been like in practice this week from last week?
I think the players have had good energy in practice and had pretty good focus. So you never know until you get to the game. I know we got a lot of guys that are banged up, like every team does at this time of the year. So it gets a little bit harder to stay focused on, doing your job if you're going to focus on, what's ailing you. But, we have a lot of guys that have a lot of mental toughness and are able to play through those types of things. So, but it's been good so far.
Go to Mike Rodak in Birmingham.
What have you seen from Dallas Turner and from Drew Sanders after Drew has come back from his injury?
Drew's doing fine. It's a little bit tougher for him to use that hand, especially when he's playing with that cast on his hand. But I think he's getting more accustomed to it. He's getting more confident in it. Dallas Turner has done a really nice job for us, being a freshman. He's gained a lot of confidence, a lot of experience. He doesn't make a lot of errors in the game. He's a smart guy. He prepares the right way. So, we feel like all 3 of those guys can play winning football for us and, with will.
A couple more here. We'll go to Charlie.
Hey, Coach. You mentioned guys being banged up. Just how has DJ Dale progressed through the week since that knee issue on Saturday?
Yeah, he practiced today. So, he probably wasn't 100%, but I think this is something that, will get better and better. So we'll just see how he progresses.
Finish up with Tony.
Nick, a lot has been said about Bryce Young's production. What about his ability to just his decision making, especially throughout the season? How has that improved?
Well, I think that decision making is what sort of promotes production. I think because he's well prepared, we've had good plans on offense, and he does a great job of executing it. And his decision making and judgment is what leads to the production, that we have. Poor judgment leads to bad plays, and he only had a couple of those, and so that's a really good batting average, and that's why he's got the production and had the performance that he's had, because of his choices and decisions and making good decisions based on the preparation and being able to go out there on the field and recognize what to do quickly and delivering the ball accurately. And he's done an outstanding job of that all year long. He had, exceptional stats in the last game, but the other players around him played well, so that contributed to it as well.
All right, Coach, thanks for your time.
That is Nick Saban down in Tuscaloosa as his final message to the media.
You don't even have to ask if they're practicing good. You can tell.
Yeah, he didn't come out there and just immediately go to the poor means.
Yeah, well, he's
McCurry, Van, and Carr Rental bring you Nick Saban press conferences, and a big thank you. That's right. A big thank you to the fine folks over at McCurry, Van, and Carr Rental. And Environmental Comfort Systems brings you our final 30 with DeArmond as Drew is here on hand. How are you, sir?
Good. How you guys doing? Happy Thanksgiving to everybody.
Happy Thanksgiving to you, sir.
Yeah, it's kind of a bittersweet one this year with the loss of Cecil Hurt, but it's been a hard year. I mean, we've lost a lot of great people.
Yeah.
And we just like all the eloquent things he said about Fluff last year. They were traveling companions for much of the last basketball season. And now, you've lost both of those guys. And Cecil, like I said on the show this morning, and I tweeted that he was a legend, and he is, but he's really more of an institution because he was the Tuscaloosa News, in my opinion, for so much of my childhood. And back in the days before the internet and before Twitter and before posting columns, the only way you'd read it is be able to go to Birmingham or Tuscaloosa and get a newspaper.
Oh, but we need to take our top of the hour break.
And that's what I always used to do. Whenever I could get my hands on a Tuscaloosa News, the reason was because you wanted to read Cecil Hurt.
You tell me, Smokey Mike, did I hear that wrong, or are we sneaking up on our top of the hour break? Okay. All right. My apologies there, Drew. I didn't mean to cut you off there prematurely. And we spent a lot of time yesterday talking about Cecil Hurt and really, how good he was to us on this show. But, I mean, there was so many shows here locally that he was on.
From Huntsville.
Yeah, that's right. Butler Rebel.
His brother still teaches in the city.
Yeah. We'll continue with Drew on the other side after this Sports Center timeout. We'll be right back.
I'm attorney Gary Lackey. You'll hear people say we're like a family, but here at the Lackey Law Firm, that's really true, not just a saying.
I'm Justin Lackey. With my father and my sister, we have a special connection to each other.
I'm Jennifer Lackey. At the Lackey Law Firm, when we take on your case, you become part of our family. You really do.
And we'll always do whatever it takes to get everything you deserve.
If you're injured, you worry about getting well, not about paperwork or insurance companies or figuring out how to get to your lawyer's office. I'll come to you.
We worry about your case so you don't have to.
When you've been injured, we know that your case is probably the biggest thing going on in your life. More important than almost anything else.
And it's important to us, too, for one simple reason. Family takes care of each other, and at the Lackey Law Firm, we'll take care of you.
The Lackey Law Firm. The Lackey Law Family. 1-800-4RIGHTS.
No representation is made that the quality of the legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
WZZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
This is SportsCenter.
It's at the half, but the Badgers roar back to down St. Mary's 61-55. Earlier in the highest scoring battle for Atlanta's game ever, number 22 UConn outlast 19th ranked Auburn 115-109 in double OT. And head coach Dan Hurley credits the win to the Huskies' deep bench.
It's a deep team, and obviously you've got to make everything about bleeding blue. Everything's got to be about about what's on the front of the jersey, because we do have 9 quality pieces right now that some nights it's going to be your night where you're going to have to deliver big for us. Tonight it was Adama, it was Jordan Hawkins, it was Tyler Polley, it was R.J. Cole. Tomorrow we may need Tyrese Martin to cook. Jalen Gaffney, but that's the benefit of having a deep roster.
Early on ESPN, the Huskies scored the most points in a game since the 2009 Big East Tournament. Also in the Bahamas, Marcus Bingham Jr. dunked home an alley-oop with 3.4 seconds left as Michigan State edges Loyola Chicago 63-61. The Spartans have won 4 straight games since losing their opener to third-ranked Kansas. In the Maui Invitational third-place game, 12th-ranked Houston cruised past Oregon 78-49. The Cougars dominated inside, outscoring the Ducks 40-22 in the paint. And coming up, Baylor and Arizona State, 30 minutes on ESPN2 and the ESPN app. And LeBron James is back tonight against the Pacers for the Lakers after a 1-game suspension, but Anthony Davis is out with an illness.
We're back on Thursday and getting you ready for Thanksgiving Day in the NFL. We'll tell you if the Raiders can revive their playoff hopes and if Dallas can still get the number 1 seed. Thursday morning, Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max on ESPN Radio.
97.7 ESPN, The Zone. Welcome to The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton. Call into the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline, 256-576-4977.
That's how I roll. And I'm not going to drink and drive anymore.
That's 256-576-4977. Now, here's Wes and Steve.
Back here at Baumhauer's Victory Grill, along with Drew DeArmond and Wes Neighbors. Steve Moulton back here with you as Drew DeArmond is presented by Environmental Comfort Systems. You can check them out online at envcomfort.com. And Drew, there's still everything on the table for this Alabama football team. As much noise as we are hearing out there, and I no doubt that you're hearing just as much as I am, this team can still put it together for the next 2 weeks and play for everything.
Yeah, they're going to play for the SEC anyway, but they certainly are still in the playoff hunt. They're third right now. The Ohio State Suckeyes jumped over them after they beat the overrated Michigan State Spartans in the soft Big Ten. And the committee overreacted like they always do because they overrate the Big Ten every year. But I still think Alabama didn't get enough credit for beating a really good Arkansas football team that would beat Michigan State, probably like a rented mule. But that's just part of it. The committee overreacts. They do it on a week-to-week basis. It's not a body of work type thing. What they see that week is how they react and do the rankings, as I do my Nick Saban, hand movements here. But, Alabama's still got everything to play for. It's going to be a raucous environment in Jordan-Hare Stadium. But this is an Auburn team that comes in wounded. Alabama is healthier than Auburn right now. That wasn't the case 2 years ago because Alabama came in with the backup quarterback. Though he played an exceptional game, he did have a couple interceptions. He threw for, 338 yards, I believe. He kind of foreshadowed what he was going to do the next year, but sans cutting out the mistakes. But again, if Alabama can protect Bryce Young, give him time, they will beat the Auburn Tigers. And I'm not changing my prediction. I picked 38-17, before the week, started, and that's just kind of the feel for
you
it
set
I had.
the line.
And so, well, it's gone. I figured it would go down. I think it's down to 19. I think, I've got them barely covering in the game late, but I think Alabama's going to win. I think defensively, they had some trouble against Arkansas, but I heard Charlie Trotman, who I have so much respect for, such a classy guy.
He is.
And the thing is, I agree with him. I don't see, the quarterback, T.J. Finley, going nuts for 300-plus yards. I know Alabama's back end has struggled, but I think that they'll play better against Auburn. And the way I look at it is, Kobe Hudson will probably play, but it hasn't been clear. He hasn't been totally cleared yet from the concussion. They don't have a Traylon Burks. Traylon Burks is a first-round pick.
Well, he's a good player.
Traylon Burks, to me, I've seen everybody in the SEC, and I love Jameson Williams, what he's done at Alabama. Mechie's been solid. He's the best receiver in the league. He's big, he's strong, he's fast, he can do it all. If Auburn had somebody like that, I would be a little worried, but they don't have somebody like that, and Shanker's not completely healthy. I don't see the outside weapons. What I see for Alabama is you got to stop 4. Okay, you can't let 4 have 200 yards and beat you. And one thing Alabama has done, they even did it last week with about 110 yards. They have stopped the run. Okay, the back end has been disappointing. They've given up big plays. They've given up passing yards.
3rd and 16 is the worst down.
But if they stop the run, and if they make Tank work for 100 yards on like 25 carries or 20 or 30 carries, because I think if I'm Auburn, I'm giving him 30 carries, then I think Alabama can win and win comfortably.
We thought this quite a few times down at Jordan-Hare, but I mean, I realize injury-wise is a bigger storyline heading into this game.
I don't believe in voodoo. A lot of people do, and all that all that garbage that's gone on, And I mean, I know there's been crazy bounces and people downfield and they don't call it and all that kind of stuff. But the way I look at it is, this reminds me a little bit of 2015. Alabama was the better team. They had the best player. They had Derrick Henry. They fed Derrick Henry, and they outlasted Auburn.
Oh, yeah.
I think Alabama's got the 2 best players. I think they've got Will Anderson, and they've got Bryce Young. And I think those are the difference makers, as somebody used to call them. And so I just think Auburn doesn't have enough of those. I think that their defense is pretty decent, but, they've lacked pass rush at times. I will say this. Derek Mason better blitz, because he's been doing a lot of 4 and 5 man rush, 3 and 4 and 5 man, and then dropping 6, 7, 8 guys. To me, they're going to have to be more aggressive, because Alabama has had trouble against the blitz.